In the heart of a chaotic city, Superman and the Hulk face an unexpected, world-shattering challenge. A mysterious alien with powers that could rival their own. As the Red Hulk appears, the stakes rise, with a battle erupting that will shake the foundations of Earth. But who is pulling the strings behind this catastrophic encounter? Secrets are revealed, alliances are tested, and the line between friend and foe becomes blurred. Get ready for an epic showdown, because the fate of a world depends on it. The storm awakens. The city had never known peace. It was always on the edge of chaos, but nothing had prepared it for the storm that was about to hit. The skies turned an unnatural shade of green, the clouds swirling like a whirlpool above, as if the heavens themselves were trying to swallow the earth. And in the middle of it all stood Superman and the Hulk, side by side, their presence alone a beacon of power. But today even they were worried. "Something's wrong," Superman muttered, his voice barely a whisper against the howl of the winds. The Hulk grunted in agreement, his fists clenched, his muscles rippling. He could feel it too, a disturbance in the air, a pressure that pressed down on his chest, squeezing the breath out of him. Suddenly, a massive flash of light split the sky, blinding them both. As the light faded, they saw it, a figure cloaked in shadows, standing in the center of the city's tallest tower. Its features were hidden, but the sheer power radiating from it was enough to make the ground tremble beneath their feet. This was no ordinary foe. This was something alien. The Hulk growled, stepping forward, his massive form blocking the view of the mysterious figure. "Hulk, smash whatever this is." But before they could make their move, the ground shook violently, and from the sky descended another figure, Red Hulk. His fiery red skin glowed ominously, his eyes blazing with fury. "You two think you can handle this alone?" he sneered, cracking his knuckles. "This isn't just some street brawl." Superman turned to face him, his jaw set. "We're not sure what we're up against yet, but it's bigger than we thought." The Red Hulk's eyes narrowed. "Well, I don't know what this is, but it sure as hell isn't going to be easy." His voice was deep, filled with the weight of countless battles, but there was a tension in it, an unspoken acknowledgement that this was a fight beyond their usual caliber. From the shadows, the alien figure suddenly spoke, its voice a strange, melodic hum that sent chills down their spines. "You are nothing compared to me. I have come to take what is mine." Superman's eyes glinted with determination. "What is yours?" The alien's laugh was haunting, echoing through the city like the sound of 1,000 whispers. "The Earth, the universe, everything you hold dear. It will be mine, all of it." Without warning, the alien raised his hand, and the ground beneath their feet cracked open. A wave of energy shot out from its fingertips, sending shockwaves that knocked Superman and the Hulk back. The Red Hulk grinned, his skin glowing brighter as he absorbed the impact, but it wasn't enough to shield them completely. This isn't just some fight, Superman realized, his mind racing. It's an invasion. The alien wasn't alone. As the sky darkened further, more figures began to descend, dozens of them, all strange and terrifying, with powers far beyond anything Superman and the Hulk had encountered before. The city was now ground zero for an all-out war, and they were right in the center of it. But even as the battle began, there was something more unsettling about the alien. Something that didn't sit right. "We need to figure out who's pulling the strings," Superman said, his voice tense. "Because this isn't just about power. It's about something more." But before he could say anything more, the alien's hand flicked through the air, and a blast of energy struck the Red Hulk, sending him crashing into a nearby skyscraper. Superman's eyes widened. It was too much, even for the Red Hulk. The Hulk roared in fury, charging forward with an intensity that would have shattered the ground beneath anyone else. But the alien was ready. A shield of dark energy formed in front of it, and the Hulk's punch collided with it, causing a shockwave that sent debris flying. Superman's gaze hardened. "We can't just fight this. We need to figure out why they are here and who's behind it all." Before they could regroup, the mysterious figure in the distance spoke again. Its voice was cold, cruel, and calculated. "You think you can stop me? I am not here to fight you. I am here to make sure you never fight again." Suddenly, The air felt thick with a presence that was both foreign and ancient. The figure in the shadows revealed its true form, a being so powerful, so utterly alien, that even the Hulk and Superman's hearts skipped beat. It was a creature that defied description, a monstrosity of shifting shapes, impossible proportions, and glowing eyes that seemed to pierce through the very fabric of reality. This wasn't just another villain. This wasn't just another battle. This was something much bigger, something that would change the world forever. And as the first blast of destruction tore through the city, Superman, Hulk, and Red Hulk realized one thing. They were no longer fighting for victory. They were fighting for survival. The tide turns. The city was on the brink of destruction, every building around them crumbling under the pressure of the alien force. Superman, Hulk, and Red Hulk were struggling, fighting not just for victory, but for survival. The aliens' power seemed infinite, each blast shaking the foundations of the city, each strike leaving a scar in the landscape. Superman darted through the air, narrowly avoiding a wave of dark energy that tore through the sky. He had never encountered a threat like this before, and it was starting to show. His usual strength, his speed, his invulnerability, they were all being tested in ways he'd never imagined. "Stay focused," he shouted, his voice crackling through the chaos. "We can't let this thing break us. We need to find its weakness." The Hulk, his massive form a blur of green fury, smashed through a group of alien soldiers, but each punch seemed to barely faze them. They were too powerful, too numerous. The Hulk's rage only seemed to feed the enemies, pushing him into an even more violent frenzy. Red Hulk, his fiery skin glowing with intensity, was the only one who seemed to be holding his ground, his body absorbing the blows that would have flattened anyone else. But even he was starting to slow down, his breathing heavy, his movements more deliberate. "We need a plan," he growled, his voice thick with exhaustion. Superman flew in, landing between them. "We don't have time to think, we have to act now. If we don't stop this now, Earth will fall." But just as he spoke, the alien leader's voice echoed through the battlefield, a cold, menacing sound that made even the invincible Superman falter for a moment. "You cannot win," the alien said, its form flickering as though it existed in multiple places at once. "You cannot stop what has already begun." The words hit them like a physical blow. This wasn't just an invasion. This wasn't just an attack. It was a takeover. The alien wasn't interested in conquering Earth. It was here to destroy everything and rebuild it in its own image. The alien leader raised its hand again, and the ground trembled. The air around them seemed to crackle with energy, and before anyone could react, a massive shockwave exploded outward, sending Superman, Hulk, and Red Hulk flying in all directions. The Hulk slammed into a building, his massive frame leaving a crater in the concrete. He staggered to his feet, growling in anger, but the pain from the alien's attack was clear on his face. His skin, usually impervious to harm, was scorched, singed by the overwhelming energy. Superman fought to regain control of his descent, his fists clenched. "We need to stop it now," he shouted again, but his words were lost in the roar of destruction around them. Red Hulk, his fiery eyes narrowed, struggled to his feet. He could feel the weight of the alien's power pressing down on him, his energy reserves draining faster than ever. But there was something else, something he couldn't quite explain. A strange feeling in the air, a vibration in the ground beneath his feet that told him this battle was more than just about power. As he scanned the battlefield, his eyes landed on the alien leader. The figure was powerful, yes, but there was something off about it. Something familiar. It was as if this creature was not just an invader. It was a part of something bigger. "I don't think we're dealing with just an alien," Red Hulk muttered under his breath. This feels like something more." Superman heard him and looked over, his expression hardening. "What do you mean?" Red Hulk shook his head, the idea forming in his mind. "I think this thing is connected to something deeper, something from the past, maybe even from before our time." Before Superman could respond, the alien leader moved again, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly intensity. It raised his hand, and the sky above them seemed to rip open. Dark clouds swirled, revealing glimpses of a massive fleet of alien ships descending upon Earth. Their shadows stretched over the city, blocking out the sun. "This is only the beginning," the alien leader declared, its voice booming across the battlefield. "You are too late. The invasion has already begun. You will watch as your world falls, piece by piece. And there's nothing you can do to stop it." Superman clenched his fists, his resolve hardening. No, this ends now. But the alien's power was overwhelming. With a wave of its hand, the alien forces began to advance, moving with precision and brutality. Superman, Red Hulk, and the Hulk were forced into a defensive position, each battling not just for survival, but for the future of the planet. The city was being consumed, and with each passing second, it seemed like the invaders were winning. But just as hope seemed lost, a crackling sound filled the air. A strange, electric hum that seemed to cut through the noise of the battlefield. The alien leader turned sharply, its eyes narrowing. "What is this?" From the shadows of the city's ruined streets, a figure appeared. A figure cloaked in darkness, its presence as unsettling as the alien force itself. The figure's face was hidden, but the unmistakable aura of power radiated from it. The city's last hope had arrived. But was it too late? "Looks like you've got company," Red Hulk muttered, as the figure stepped forward, its eyes glowing with an energy that rivaled the aliens. And just like that, the tide of the battle began to shift. The mysterious ally. The alien forces surged forward, their cold eyes scanning the city as they advanced with terrifying precision. Superman, Hulk, and Red Hulk were barely holding their ground. Every strike from the alien soldiers sent shockwaves through the streets, each blast of dark energy ripping through the buildings, reducing the once bustling metropolis to rubble. But then, in the midst of the chaos, the mysterious figure emerged from the shadows, its glowing eyes cutting through the dust and smoke. It was unlike anything the heroes had ever seen. Cloaked in black, with an aura of power that seemed to distort the very air around it, this figure was no ally they had expected. Yet in this moment, it was the only hope they had. Who are you?" Superman called out, his voice strained from the constant assault. The figure didn't respond immediately. Instead, it raised its hand, and a surge of energy erupted from its fingertips, slicing through the alien forces like a hot knife through butter. The blast disintegrated the soldiers on contact, leaving nothing but ash in its wake. The three heroes watched in stunned silence as the figure's power took down wave after wave of the invaders. "Impressive," Red Hulk muttered, his voice filled with both awe and suspicion. "I don't know if we can trust this one," Hulk growled, eyeing the figure warily. The mysterious figure finally spoke, its voice low and haunting. "Trust is a luxury you can't afford right now. The alien forces you face are not just conquerors, they're hunters. And they've been hunting your kind for longer than you can imagine." Superman stepped forward, his brows furrowed. "What do you mean? Who are you?" The figure's eyes flickered with something, sadness, perhaps, or something deeper. "I am an ancient force, one that has been watching over this planet long before you were born, long before these invaders came." Hulk snorted. "So what, you're some kind of god?" "Not a god," the figure replied, its voice cold. "But I know this world and its secrets. And I know that this invasion is not an isolated event. It's part of a much larger plan, one that will consume the entire universe if left unchecked." The words hit Superman like a ton of bricks. This isn't just about Earth, then. They're planning something bigger. The figure nodded, its glowing eyes narrowing. "Yes, the alien leader you're fighting is only one piece of a much larger puzzle. And you are all pawns in a game far beyond your understanding." Red Hulk's fist clenched. "So what do you want from us?" "I want to help you," the figure said. "But I cannot do it alone. You will need to trust me, fight beside me, and together we can take down this invader and those who control it." For a moment, there was silence. The weight of the figure's words hung in the air like a thick fog. The three heroes exchanged uncertain glances, each of them weighing the risk of accepting the help of this mysterious being. Finally, Superman spoke, his voice steady. "We don't have much of a choice. We need all the help we can get." Red Hulk grinned, though there was no humor in it. "Fine. But if you double-cross us, I'll rip you in half." The figure didn't respond to the threat. Instead, it raised both hands, summoning a strange, crackling energy that pulsed in the air around them. The ground trembled as the mysterious force began to warp the environment, pulling the very essence of the city into a strange, distorted landscape. "This," the figure said, "is the beginning of the end. But it's also where we fight back." The alien leader, sensing the change in the atmosphere, turned sharply. "You think you can stop me?" Its voice rang out, its form flickering with a maddening energy. "You're too late. This world will burn, and so will you." Without warning, the alien leader unleashed a massive wave of energy, a destructive blast that seemed to shake the entire planet. The ground cracked open, and the sky above seemed to burn with fiery red energy. The force was enough to send the heroes sprawling, but they quickly recovered, their determination burning brighter than ever. "You're not the only one who can destroy," the mysterious figure hissed, stepping forward. It raised its hands, and a wave of energy erupted, clashing violently with the alien's blast. The air was filled with the sound of thunder as the two forces collided. Superman charged in, his fists glowing with power as he smashed into the alien's shield, his strength adding to the force of the battle. Hulk followed suit, his fists tearing through the alien soldiers, while Red Hulk unleashed a torrent of fiery blasts that seemed to melt anything in its path. But even with their combined might, the alien leader was relentless. It seemed as though it could regenerate faster than they could destroy it. "You cannot win," the alien roared, its form glowing brighter with each passing second. "I will erase your existence." But the mysterious figure was not finished. With a final guttural cry, it unleashed a blast of raw power that struck the alien leader directly. The energy was unlike anything they had seen before, pure, untamed, and filled with an ancient fury. It hit the alien leader with such force that the creature was sent flying, its form flickering in and out of existence. For a brief moment, the battlefield fell silent. The alien forces seemed to retreat, their leader defeated, at least for now. Superman, Hulk, and Red Hulk stood in awe of the figure, but there was no time for questions. The battle was far from over. "We've won this round," the mysterious figure said, "but the war is just beginning." The revelation. The alien leader was down, its form flickering and sparking with the remnants of the devastating blast from the mysterious figure. But even as the creature's body cracked apart like shattered glass, its malevolent voice echoed, sending a chilling reminder to the heroes that this was far from over. "You think you've won? You've only seen the beginning," the alien leader hissed, its voice reverberating through the air, warping the very fabric of reality. Superman, Hulk, and Red Hulk stood in tense silence, their eyes locked on the figure that had just helped them achieve this victory. Or so they thought. The city was still in ruins, the ground cracked and scorched, but the battle was far from over. And the real question still lingered. Who was the mysterious figure? Superman was the first to speak, his eyes narrowing as he floated slightly above the ground. "You said this invasion was bigger than we thought. Who are you really?" The figure didn't immediately answer. Instead, it turned to face the wreckage of the alien leader, its glowing eyes filled with something indescribable. "I am not your enemy," it replied softly, almost to itself. "But you are not ready for the truth. Not yet." Red Hulk crossed his arms, his expression hard. "We're not in the mood for riddles. If you know what's coming, then you better start talking, and fast." The figure turned, its expression unreadable beneath the dark hood. "You don't understand. The alien leader you faced is merely the beginning. It was sent to test you, to see if you were strong enough to face what's coming." Superman's jaw clenched. "Test us? By destroying our city? We've fought battles, but this is different." "It's much more than a test," the figure continued, its voice growing more intense. "This war is not just about Earth. This is about the very balance of the universe itself. The invaders you face are part of a force much greater than you've ever encountered. And they're not alone." The air seemed to grow heavier as the figure spoke, its words dripping with ancient knowledge and an almost palpable sense of dread. The Hulk stepped forward, fists clenched, his face painted with frustration. "Get to the point. Who's behind all of this? The figure's eyes flashed with a strange light. The ones who control the alien army are far older and more powerful than you can imagine. They are the architects of the multiverse, the ones who created and destroyed worlds long before Earth even existed. And their next target is your universe. Red Hulk looked at Superman, his expression a mixture of disbelief and fear. Wait, are you saying this is all part of some bigger plan? Some cosmic war? Yes, the figure replied, its voice echoing like a death knell. But this war is not one you can win with brute force alone. You need to understand who your true enemies are, and that means embracing something greater than yourselves. Power alone will not save your world. Superman's mind raced, trying to process the magnitude of what the figure had just revealed. Are you telling us that these invaders are just pawns in a larger game? The figure nodded. Yes, and they are not the only ones coming. There are more threats, ones that will test your strength, your will, your very souls. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet trembled again. The sky above darkened, and a chilling, otherworldly hum filled the air. From the depths of the ruins, a new force was rising, a presence even darker than the alien leader they had just faced. Not again, Red Hulk muttered, stepping forward, his fists sparking with fiery energy. We just took down one army, and now there's another? This is not just another army, the figure said gravely. This is the beginning of the end. You must prepare yourselves for what is to come. As the new force emerged from the shadows, the heroes stood in awe and terror. What had seemed like a fleeting victory was quickly unraveling. The alien invaders they had fought were only a small part of the puzzle. There were far greater, darker forces at work, and they were coming for Earth. Superman's eyes locked onto the approaching threat, his body radiating power. We don't have much time. We need to act. Whatever it takes, we fight. Together. The figure's glowing eyes dimmed for a brief moment, its form seeming to flicker. This will not be an easy fight. You must trust each other, and more importantly, trust what you don't yet understand. Red Hulk smirked. We've never backed down before, and we're not about to start now. With that, the three heroes braced themselves for the coming battle. The sky crackled with energy as the first wave of the new enemy descended, and the city's last hope hung in the balance. The fate of the world and the universe rested in their hands. And just as the first strike landed, the figure disappeared into the shadows, leaving the three heroes to face the storm alone. The final stand. The city was a war zone. The sky, once filled with the promise of a new dawn, now crackled with energy, a dark veil hanging over the battlefield. Superman, Hulk, and Red Hulk stood together, their backs to each other, facing an enemy unlike anything they had ever encountered. The air was thick with tension, each second stretching out like an eternity. Stay close, Superman said, his voice steady, though the weight of the situation was clear in his eyes. We can't afford to make any mistakes now. The mysterious figure had vanished into the shadows, leaving the three heroes to face the growing threat alone. And the threat was unlike any they had encountered before. The new enemy had emerged from the depths of the ruined city, its form shifting and flickering with an otherworldly glow. It was a force of pure chaos, a being born from the darkest corners of the universe. Its power radiated like a black hole, threatening to consume everything in its path. They're here, Red Hulk muttered, his fists igniting with fiery energy. And they brought an army. From the darkness, an army of shadowy figures emerged, their bodies a mass of swirling darkness. They moved in unison, their eyes glowing with malevolent power, each step sending ripples through the air. The alien invaders they had fought before were nothing compared to this new wave. These were creatures of pure destruction, bent on one thing, total annihilation. Superman clenched his fists. We don't have much time. We have to take them down now. Without another word, the three heroes charged. Hulk and Red Hulk smashed through the first wave of enemies, their combined strength shaking the very earth beneath their feet. But with every blow they landed, more enemies appeared, as if the darkness itself was endless. Superman soared through the air, his eyes glowing with intensity. He unleashed a powerful heat vision blast, cutting through the massive enemies. But even his strength seemed to be met with resistance. The creatures were not just powerful, they were immune to conventional attacks. "What are these things?" Hulk roared, throwing one of the shadowy creatures into a building. It disintegrated on impact, but then reformed, growing stronger. "We're facing something far beyond us," Superman said, his voice tight with frustration. "They're regenerating faster than we can destroy them." The ground beneath them shook again, and from the center of the battlefield, the dark figure they had seen earlier emerged. It was bigger, stronger, more terrifying than before. The alien leader, weakened but not defeated, had merged with the dark force. The result was a creature of pure nightmare, a being that defied logic and space itself. "I told you," the creature's voice echoed, a symphony of hatred and darkness. "This is the end. Your world, your universe, will be ours." The air shimmered as the creature raised its hand, and a wave of dark energy surged forward, engulfing everything in its path. The heroes were knocked off their feet, their bodies slammed to the ground with force that made the earth tremble. Superman struggled to rise, his cape tattered, his strength faltering. Hulk and Red Hulk weren't faring much better. "We have to fight back," Red Hulk shouted, his body burning with fiery energy. But even as they regrouped, the dark figure surged forward, ready to end the fight. Just as all seemed lost, a faint pulse of energy echoed through the air, powerful, ancient, and resonating with the strength of the universe itself. The mysterious figure appeared once more, this time fully revealed, its form glowing with cosmic power. "This ends now," the figure said, its voice ringing out like a war cry. With a single motion, the figure raised its hand, and the sky above cracked open. A brilliant wave of light erupted from its body, crashing into the dark figure and its army. The shock wave sent a ripple through the air, and for the first time, the dark army faltered. The energy from the figure was pure, untainted by evil, and it tore through the darkness like a blade through paper. The creature screeched in agony, its form flickering as it was torn apart by the overwhelming energy. The alien leader screamed, its body disintegrating into nothingness. And with that, the battle was over. For a moment, there was silence. The city was broken, shattered, but the heroes stood tall. The dark forces had been defeated, but the cost had been high. Superman looked at the mysterious figure, his expression filled with gratitude and suspicion. "Who are you?" The figure's glowing eyes softened, and it took a step back. "I am what was needed, what this universe required." "Are you a god?" Red Hulk asked. The figure shook its head. "No, I am simply a force of balance, one who watches over the cycles of creation and destruction." The city was quiet, the threat vanquished, for now. But Superman, Hulk, and Red Hulk knew this was not the end. There would always be a greater threat lurking in the shadows, waiting for its moment to strike. As the heroes turned to leave, the figure vanished into the darkness, leaving behind only a whisper. Until next time. The battle was over, but the war was just beginning.